In a world where medical advances continue to stretch human lifespan, a new and unsettling truth has emerged. People are living longer, yet spending more years sick, inflamed, medicated, and losing mobility long before their time. The true crisis of our generation is not lifespan, it's health span. Today, you will walk through a deeply revealing journey built on cutting-edge research from Harvard, Stanford, MIT, the Buck Institute, and the world's most advanced longevity labs. Together, we'll expose what actually extends the number of years you live in full mental clarity, physical strength, emotional stability, and cellular vitality. Not theories, not trends, but scientifically validated frameworks that determine whether you age slowly and powerfully or quickly and painfully. This is the blueprint that separates a long life from a long healthy life, and it begins now. Scientists now confirm that increasing health span requires targeting the 4 aging engines: chronic inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, mitochondrial decline, and cellular senescence. These mechanisms silently reduce quality of life decades before aging becomes visible. Harvard's Biology of Aging program found that inflammation alone can predict disability 10 years before symptoms appear. Stanford researchers show that mitochondrial dysfunction is the earliest marker of decreased physical capacity. And the Buck Institute discovered that senescent cells that stop dividing but refuse to die release toxins that accelerate nearly every age-related disease. The habits you will discover today are scientifically proven, not just to slow these engines, but to reverse them, giving you the ability to live younger for far longer. One of the strongest predictors of health span is metabolic flexibility, the ability of the body to efficiently switch between burning glucose and fat. MIT metabolic labs confirm that metabolic dysfunction now affects more than 90% of adults, even those who appear healthy. When metabolism breaks, inflammation rises, energy collapses, hormones destabilize, and the aging process accelerates. Stabilizing your metabolism through blood sugar control, protein-rich meals, fiber intake, and strategic fasting has been shown to extend health span by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing oxidative stress. This is not a diet, it's a biological reset that restores youth at the cellular level. The National Institute on Aging calls skeletal muscle the most critical organ for aging. Researchers discovered that muscle acts as a biochemical factory, releasing powerful anti-inflammatory molecules that protect the brain, heart, immune system, and metabolism. After age 35, the body loses up to 3 to 5% of muscle every decade, unless strength training is prioritized. This loss is the hidden cause of fatigue, frailty, poor balance, and even cognitive decline. Stanford's Human Performance Lab found that individuals with higher muscle mass reduced mortality risk by up to 37%. Strength is not about aesthetics, it's the strongest known biological defense against aging. Harvard Sleep Medicine reports that poor sleep accelerates biological aging, increases inflammatory markers, impairs mitochondrial repair, and shrinks the brain's memory center, the hippocampus. During deep sleep, the brain's lymphatic system flushes out toxins, including beta-amyloid proteins associated with Alzheimer's. When sleep is fragmented or shortened, these toxins accumulate and begin to damage neural connections years before symptoms appear. High-quality sleep increases health span by preserving cognitive function, stabilizing hormones, boosting immune resilience, and repairing DNA. In longevity science, sleep is not optional, it is foundational. Chronic inflammation is now recognized as the universal trigger of accelerated aging. Studies from the Buck Institute show that inflammation is responsible for heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, cognitive decline, and immune dysfunction. What extends health span is not eliminating all inflammation, but calming the chronic low-grade inflammation that slowly erodes tissues. Anti-inflammatory, nutrition-rich, in antioxidants, polyphenols, omega-3, south and whole food compounds, has been proven to extend life quality by reducing oxidative stress, restoring immune balance, and repairing cellular signaling. The body becomes biologically younger when inflammation falls. Mitochondria are the engines of life, responsible for producing energy in every single cell. As we age, these engines weaken, producing less energy and more free radicals, damaging molecules that accelerate tissue degeneration. Stanford researchers discovered that mitochondrial decline begins decades before visible aging, contributing to fatigue, muscle loss, and cognitive fog. But the good news is that mitochondria can be stimulated to regrow, multiply, and strengthen. Through strength training, interval training, cold exposure, nutrient-rich diets, and proper sleep, the body activates mitophagy, the process that clears damaged mitochondria and regenerates new ones, restoring youth from within. As we age, senescent cells accumulate, cells that no longer divide and release toxins that damage tissues. These zombie cells are now considered one of the core drivers of aging. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic and Buck Institute revealed that reducing senescent cell burden increases health span dramatically. How? Through senolytic pathways triggered by fasting, polyphenols like quercetin, exercise, and metabolic optimization. By reducing senescent cells, the body regains its ability to heal, regenerate, and function at high levels deep into older age. Longevity is not only cellular, it's neurological. Stanford stress research shows that chronic stress shortens telomeres, weakens immunity, reduces muscle strength, impairs digestion, and accelerates brain aging. The parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for calm, digestion, and repair, is rarely activated in the modern world. Breathwork, meditation, cold exposure, nature immersion, and intentional recovery stimulate vagal tone, increasing emotional resilience and extending health span. A calm nervous system allows the body to repair because healing can only happen when the body is out of survival mode. Brain health is one of the strongest predictors of long-term independence and health span. Harvard neurobiology studies reveal that cognitive decline begins long before symptoms appear, silently shrinking neural networks and reducing processing speed. But the brain can regenerate through neuroplasticity, its ability to form new connections, learning new skills, reading deeply, solving complex challenges, and exploring unfamiliar ideas, stimulate the growth of new neurons, preserving mental clarity for decades. A stimulated brain ages slowly. A passive brain ages quickly. Harvard's 85-year adult development study, the longest in the world, concluded that the strongest predictor of health span is not genetics, wealth, or even diet, but the quality of relationships and a clear sense of purpose. Loneliness increases mortality risk as much as smoking. Purpose lowers inflammation, strengthens immunity, and enhances psychological resilience. Social connection regulates hormones, boosts neurotransmitters, and keeps the mind emotionally sharp. Humans do not heal alone. We are biologically wired for connection, meaning that community is a longevity intervention. Finally, health span is shaped by the environment you live in. Your diet, habits, light exposure, sleep routine, movement patterns, relationships, and stress levels. Blue Zone research confirms that people who live the longest aren't necessarily trying to, they simply surrounded by environments that make healthy behaviors effortless. To extend your health span, you must build environments that support movement, nourishment, sleep, calm, and purpose. You don't have to fight aging, you have to outsmart it by designing a life that favors longevity.